Hello. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Fahd from Microsoft. It's incredibly exciting to be here today in technology, particularly in the area of data and AI. And I want to start today with a question. Does anyone in the audience know what word of the year 2017 was or is? Fake news, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in a world of fake news, reality TV, and where orange really is the new black. Now, to talk about impact that we can have with our data, with technologies, people need to trust companies that make technology, companies that use technology to have an impact in people's lives. And today's world, we are living in the information age, but are we really more informed, is the question. So this goes back to trust and ultimately why we do what we do, to create an impact and have an impact in people's lives and improve people's lives with technology. We have some of the biggest problems that humanity is facing, existential problems like climate change, like sustainable energy, food supply, understanding the universe around us, the universe within us. But to solve any of these problems, people must want to solve problems. Data is key to solving some of these biggest problems we have. But if people don't want to trust the data from scientists, from organizations, from companies, from governments, people are not going to want to solve problems, and we're not going to be able to have the impact, and we're not going to be able to create the digital economy of tomorrow. Data, and when we talk of data, one of the biggest use cases of data is the learning we can derive from data and the AI we can build on top of it. Intelligence revolution is one of the biggest, most disruptive technologies that we see in recent years. Perhaps the most disruptive since James Watt invented the steam engine. The steam engine drove productivity gains, it drove the economy forward across the board for decades to come. Will the same thing be true for data and AI that we create, or is it just going to create wealth for a few companies on one coast or one country in the world? This is not a given. It's not a given that the intelligence and the data and AI technologies will create the same kind of prosperity and wealth that the steam engine created and the industrial revolution created. It is up to us to make sure that we use technology to have a positive impact, to use technology to include people, to empower people of every company, every organization, every country, everywhere in the world. So I want to start with the beginning of Microsoft. Most people know Microsoft as a company of Windows, Office, SQL Server, these days the cloud. But the very, very first product that Microsoft created was the basic interpreter for a company called MITS, for the Altair 8800. This was a product that made another company's product more valuable, more useful for their customers. So Microsoft's success, right from its inception, was a byproduct of another company's success. This is built into the DNA of Microsoft. And this is what we have done since. This is what we continue to do. It is about how we create success for others, for our partner ecosystem, for our customer ecosystem, locally in the communities within which we operate. So it is about how we, with our technologies and our partner ecosystem, create jobs, right here in the UK, where we operate? How do we make government able to provide more services to more people more effectively? How do we allow small businesses to grow? How do we allow large businesses to become more agile, more productive? It is about having that local impact and that surplus we create within the partner and customer ecosystem where we operate. So this is just a little bit about why we exist, why we are successful. We are not successful at the cost of our customers and partners. Even if we are, that is not a sustainable model. And Microsoft has been through antitrust era and all of those stories. So we have learned that the only sustainable model is to create success for others and thus creating success as a byproduct for ourselves. And that is what we must all do in technology. Most of you are either in the technology industry creating solutions or in the technology functions of other industries. We create value by creating value for our customers and our partners. In the area of data and AI, our mission and purpose is to empower every single developer, every single analyst, every data scientist with the right tools so that they don't have to work through the plumbing, they don't have to wrangle data, they don't have to go through moving data around, but they focus on the possibility of what they can do with that data and imagine what problems they can solve with the data. This is what drives us. This is what underpins all of our products, all of our services, all our partner ecosystem. And Microsoft has the most complete data and AI solution in the industry. We have solutions for your on-premises data. We have solutions for cloud data. We have, uniquely in the industry, the bridge or the hybrid bridge between on-premises and the cloud, so that as you move to the cloud, you can continue to extract value from your on-premises investments, and as you move to the cloud, you make more and more use of the cloud. All of our technologies, whether it's on-premises or the cloud, are underpinned by unified security, operations, management, and we use AI to improve security for on-premises as well as cloud, things like detecting threats, detecting intruders, all built on AI solutions that Microsoft creates. So if you have any kind of data, whether it's big data, small data, structured data, unstructured data, whether you're on-premises or in the cloud or a hybrid between the two, whatever kind of workload you have, whether it's operational databases, data warehouses, data lakes, analytics, machine learning, we have the solution for you. And in half an hour, it's very difficult to go through all of the solution, but I would encourage you to come to us, talk to us at the Microsoft stand, and see what we can do for you. One of the common themes that you will see at Microsoft and the products and services we create, we are moving away from having the intelligence or the AI built into applications and moving that to the data fabric where the data already resides. That is, first of all, it's much more performant for your machine learning algorithms, for your inference algorithms, but also you can use that intelligence then in multiple applications so that you don't have to port from language to language, from platform to platform, to have the same capability across many applications. You might ask, what's SQL Server doing in a big data conference? Well, SQL Server has grown up. It has got, well, first of all, it is the most flexible database offering that we've created. You can of course have it on Windows, you can deploy it on Linux, but you can also deploy it on Linux clusters. So your developers can have SQL Server inside a Docker container. Think about the dev test cycles you can save with that. We've got technologies like Polybase, which bring together the best of SQL with NoSQL. in the same context, in the same queries, you can reference and combine data from your SQL Server, from your analytical databases, from your data warehouses, and also from your Hadoop estate in the same query. So in the same context, you can reason over data in any form, big data in Hadoop or big data in your data warehouse. We also have advanced analytics capabilities built into the database engine itself. This is R and Python, the most popular languages with data scientists around the world, built right into the database engine. So your data scientist can take the code that they've got in Python, in R, and deploy that inside the SQL Server so that you don't have to translate when you deploy it to production. It is the most secure platform with AI built in. AI is used throughout our products for security, for detecting SQL injection, for detecting any kind of security threats. And SQL Server is something that your developers are going to love. What your developers are going to love, even more than SQL Server, is the Azure Cloud. Azure is Microsoft's public cloud offering. Think of it as an app store for software solutions, so that you can go to the app store, have tons of Microsoft solutions available, but also thousands, literally thousands of partners available on the Microsoft Cloud. So any of the companies that you see out here, MapR, Confluent, any company you think of that has a solution, it's available in the Azure Cloud. In terms of big data, we've got solutions to help you ingest data, manage that data, catalog that data, store it in the right appropriate data store, whether it's data warehouse for your structured data, whether it's data lake for your unstructured data. The Azure Data Lake is a storage engine. It's serverless, Hadoop-like file system that allows you to have any size of file or any number of files in the data lake for highly performant workloads. And for semi-structured data, we've got Cosmos DB. Cosmos DB is a single database that can be used at different consistency levels. It can be globally distributed, and you can have graph objects, you can have JSON objects, you can have SQL. So it is a most powerful database, and it can power serverless compute functions to help you orchestrate your data flows. In terms of the ability to process all of that data, we've got solutions for machine learning, for data lake analytics to process all of the data in your data lake. We've got a Hadoop offering in partnerships with Hortonworks called HD Insights. We've got Stream Analytics. We've got Azure Analysis Services to power your BI dashboards for real-time analytics. In terms of surfacing that data, whether you want to surface KPIs in dashboards or APIs through other applications, we've got the integrations available to connect your data to the applications so that they have the impact that they're intended to have. Two of the services, when we think about democratizing access to AI, we want to make some of the most commonly used applications and make them available as APIs. So your developers can simply call the APIs and use the intelligence right inside the applications. Cognitive services are APIs behind which Microsoft has done all the heavy lifting of the data science, of machine learning, to recognize, for example, faces and images, to recognize the gender, estimate the age, speech recognition, knowledge APIs. Some of the most common use cases are built in, and Microsoft at the back end continues to improve these algorithms so that over time they get better and better. But your developers don't have to do the data science and the rocket science behind it. to build that application into your systems. The other one, to make it accessible to more people, is the conversation platform, or the Microsoft Bot Framework. This allows you to connect your applications, your data, with a natural language interface to your end users through channels like Facebook, Slack, Skype. There are a number of channels through which the end users can use the cognitive services, the applications, just by talking to the system in natural language. Instead of having to go through buttons and clicking through and going through workflows, this makes it accessible for a lot more people to be able to use some of the cloud services that we have to offer. More than what Microsoft offers, we're going back to the beginning, we are creating a platform for everybody's success. We are building the Azure Cloud as an open cloud based on open standards, so that you can have thousands of solutions, everything from the infrastructure and database all the way to DevOps. Any company with any sort of solution, technology solution, can deliver on the Azure Cloud. When selecting a data platform, the partner ecosystem is very, very important, because you want to be able to extend your solutions with flexibility of choice of softwares that your developers, your operations people are already familiar with. So if you already use some of these solutions, you can move to the cloud much more easily. You need partners who have the skills to deliver projects, to be able to provide managed services, to do training for your staff. So we have the most extensive partner ecosystem to make your IT investments, your journey to the cloud, most successful. So I'm going to go back to the impact again. The reason we do what we do is very, very important. So the question of trust is more than just security. So we do investments in security, we do investments in growth, but it is about why we do what we do. We do what we do to create success for our customers, to create success sideways for our partners, and to have a positive impact on people's lives. If people don't trust us with their data, it's all going to be fake news. It's all going to be reality TV. We make investments in terms of security in how we keep your data secure. So there are features like end-to-end data encryption, transparent data encryption, as well as encryption where you hold your keys. So we make sure you own and you control your data. Microsoft doesn't have access to it. Nobody else has access to it. We are not in the business of collecting data on our customers. We collect data on behalf of our customers and our partners. This mindset change is very, very important. We are not collecting data to sell you one more product. We are not collecting data just to create more consumers out of you. We are creating more producers. If in an economy we create more and more consumers, it's just not sustainable. So we need to create growth by having more producers in the economy and empowering people with the tools to create more. We are also making huge investments in growth. So we have over 100 data centers in 38 regions around the world, so that your data can be closest to your customers, it complies with the local laws, and you can grow your data in 5 years and 10 years' time. We have the most complete portfolio of certifications across various industries, across various geographies and geopolitical environments. If you have specific requirements, come talk to us, and let's see how we can help you. All of Microsoft's investments in growth, we have, as I mentioned, 38 different regions, and they are connected through Microsoft's own fiber. So your data, when it moves from one region to the other, does not go over the public internet. The other thing that we do when we create regions is we do the hard work of figuring out the placement of data centers so that one region has an independent power supply from another region, it's on different floodplains and so on and so forth, but yet they should be close enough so that you have pairs of regions so that you can have a primary and a secondary, so you can fail over to the secondary within the same jurisdiction, within a certain number of millisecond latency. So there's a lot of hard work that goes into creating these regions and growing them so that we can fulfill your applications, the high availability, the disaster recovery requirements, everything. I'm going to go back and finish with our all-up mission. We are using data and AI to empower every person and every organization on the planet. That is why we exist. That is what our first ever product was, and that is what we continue to do today. I would encourage you to come to the Microsoft stand, go to microsoft.com/AI/data, and find out what we can do for you. I've got 5 minutes, and I can take questions. Thank you very much. Thank you.